morning, everyone. Welcome to I Wonder Wednesday. Throughout the month of February, we are highlighting the achievements of some amazing Black African Americans. And today, our focus is going to be on someone very dear to my heart, is Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson was born in 1918 in Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Amazingly enough, Katherine actually did not start school until she was 10 years old. She finished high school by the age of 14 and finished college by the age of 18. She went to West Virginia State College, which is now known as West Virginia University, and she earned degrees in both mathematics and French. Katherine was doing so well in her classes, she took every math class that the university offered. Her professors found her so talented, they actually created a class just for Katherine. It was called the Geometry of Space. Now remember, at that time period, the idea of an object going into space and orbiting anything just sounded kind of like science fiction. But Katherine was able to do the math. Fast forward a few years to 1940, when the Supreme Court gave African Americans the right to graduate study programming. Katherine, again, continued her mathematics education. And later, in 1953, she began her work with NACA. Now, NACA was known as the National Advisory Committee on Aeronautics, which is now known as NASA. At NACA, she was known as a group of women called the Human Computers. And these women used their mathematics skills to solve problems that in today's world, we have computers that do those calculations. Well, throughout her time at NACA, Katherine got some attention. The more difficult the problem, the greater Katherine did. And she challenged these engineers with questions about, well, what if we did it this way? And this started the movement as we entered the space race against the Russians. Katherine's calculations on the trajectories of the first orbit around Earth, the Apollo missions, the space shuttle, and even a mission to Mars, all started with the calculations of Katherine Johnson. John Glenn, before he took his first manned orbited mission around planet Earth, wanted to make sure that the computers were correct in their calculations. And Katherine Johnson, proved those calculations correct. And John Glenn decided it was clear to go and made that historic flight. During the famous Apollo 13, when, unfortunately, the explosion prevented Apollo 13 from landing on the moon, Katherine's trajectories and calculations helped to get those astronauts back to planet Earth. So, in one of Katherine's final interviews 2 years ago, one of the things that she was asked in her reflection about her work with NASA, she said to make sure that you always do your best. That was something that she really held close to her heart, that she always did her best, but she always was doing something that she loved. And she said, if you don't, then shame on you. Because of Katherine, NASA embraced the idea that diversity of thought only improves our capacity to solve problems, to make change, and to move forward, not just here on Earth, but also beyond. My friends, thank you so much for stopping by I Wonder Wednesday, when next week Adam is going to be discussing the incredible life of George Washington Carver. Take care, everyone.